My name is Kerrie, and my goal is to inspire healing and meaning in all areas of life. In this podcast, we will dive deep into conversations. From heartbreak to freedom, we will explore different self-care modalities, learn to be the best expressions of ourselves, and to live with purpose. I'm here to offer my personal insights and to share my story in hopes that it will guide you on your path. This is Heal with Care, a journey of self-discovery. Namaste. I remember yoga teachers would always say to us, listen to your body and do what feels right for you. But I'm not sure I quite understood what they meant. Because there I was, looking around the room, letting my ego convince me that I needed to match what everyone else was doing, pushing my body to do things it wasn't ready for. That was me in my younger years. As I got more mature, I realized yoga isn't about pushing beyond what your body is ready for. It's about going at your own pace, turning inwards, being aware of how you feel and respecting your limits. Your body will get there over time. Just need to have compassion for where you are at on your journey. I notice as I get older, my body needs more TLC, and I have truly learned to listen to it. I can no longer push my body beyond its limits and hope to bounce back. I need to approach each movement with mindfulness and intention, honoring exactly what my body needs in order to avoid physical injury. I remember one of my earliest yoga classes that I went to. There were signs on the door reminding everyone to be silent and respectful while being at the studio. It was my first time in a hot yoga studio, and instructors in the studio were wearing these shirts that said, "Just fart." They were trying to normalize passing gas. And while I understood their intentions and the concept of addressing the elephant in the room, this made me question if I was in the right place. The room was hot. There were about 35 or more people crammed into a small space, and I now feared that the person in front of me would do a downward dog or child's pose and let one rip right in front of my face. The place was already sweaty, there was potential for body odor, and the last thing that I needed was bodily gases filling the air around me. After this experience, let's just say, I didn't feel the need to go back there. So there was a big enough gap that before I decided to try yoga again. After joining a martial arts gym that offered yoga classes, I decided to give yoga another shot. The instructor was kind, taking the time to chat with the students before class, and they were experienced enough to know how to modify the class to the students' needs. Though I didn't fully understand the chanting in the beginning of the class, I really appreciated the quieter, smaller, more mindful class settings. The instructor walked around, ensuring that our body alignment was correct, which helped me feel more supported and connected during my practice. Years after, I left that gym and I went to a bunch of different yoga studios. I came to realize just how much I appreciated that particular instructor. And I may never cross paths with them again, but if I do, I would love to tell them how much of an impact they had on my life. Their guidance was a stepping stone to my yoga journey, and I'm so grateful for the lasting impression and positive influence they had on me. I've always been aware of how my body moved, especially since I participated in sports that required precision and proper technique. But after years of training, I started to feel the wear and tear on my body. There was pain in my shoulders, wrists, knees, and hips. In fact, most of my joints. All of the physical activities that I had done over the years had taken its toll, forcing me to slow down. I remember at one point feeling like Superwoman and that nothing could stop me. As time went on, with new bodily injuries, I felt I had to really pay attention to my body. So through physio, I had to figure out how to get my body to function so that I was in less pain. I started to pay attention to when I was exerting my body too much and whenever I needed a break. So since my body had taken a beating throughout the years, I started attending yoga classes more regularly since I could no longer do high impact activities. Plus, yoga was a lot easier on my body and my joints, and it kept me present and grounded. I used to feel so confused by the words the yoga instructors use, struggling to keep up with the flows. At times, I thought about giving up. I often found myself glancing at other students, wondering if what I was doing was right. However, during one particular class, everything changed. I realized I was feeling completely in tune with my breath and the movements of my body. I was beginning to flow and it felt really good. Was it that I finally understood the sequences? Had I memorized the steps? Or was I simply becoming more present and connected with my mind and body? All I knew was that I was experiencing this profound sense of peace and drifting into a space where I felt free. Yoga became a way for me to stay present, slow down my mind, and to simply be in the moment. Plus, I enjoyed moving my body and I couldn't imagine a life without some movement. I also discovered that when we were doing balancing poses, when my mind was cluttered with thoughts, I struggled to hold the pose steady. When my ego got the best of me and I was looking around the room, I was also unsteady. But when I was calm and focused, I could balance with more ease. It was clear, this example of the connection between our mind and bodies. During my yoga teacher training, we learned about this connection. When you let go, your body is able to release and relax and let go as well. So the concept is, when your mind is flexible, so will be your body. I used to attend yoga after work. Sometimes after work, I would feel mentally exhausted and drained. I needed space to unwind and recover from all the mental stimulation that I went through during the day. It was a winter day and I was a member of this new hot yoga studio that had recently opened up. It was not too crowded, which is what I loved, and I found the warmth of the heated studio really helped me to loosen up my stiff and achy muscles. And it allowed me to stretch and feel so good afterwards. Since it was cold out, I made an effort to arrive a few minutes early to lay in Savasana to warm up my body and relax before the class began. One day, I decided I was going to choose a spot in the back corner of the room. At the beginning of the class, the teacher reminded us to listen to our bodies, and for the first time, I finally understood what they meant. Midway through the class, I realized I was exhausted. After a long, busy day with little sleep the night before, I just wanted to rest. I knew the heat of the class would help me relax, so I decided not to push myself. Instead, I stopped what I was doing, I lay down on my mat, and I allowed myself to rest, taking a nap. In that moment, I felt something inside of me shift. I no longer cared about what anyone else thought of me. I was doing this practice for myself. I let my ego take a back seat as I finally honored what my body truly needed, and that was rest. I can hear the voice of the instructor zoning in and out as I dozed off. And when the class was over, I woke up feeling refreshed and well rested. For some reason, after that session, I felt a new sense of freedom. I had stepped outside of my usually routine, allowing myself to relax and embrace what felt right for me. In the end, yoga has taught me to tune into myself, honor my feelings, and listen to my body. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I have really grown. I no longer needed to feel the need to compete or worry about what others might think of me. I know what I need. Taking the time to check in, both physically and emotionally, has helped me to recognize when something feels misaligned. The connection between our mind and body is so powerful, and I'm grateful for the insights I've gained through my yoga practice. If you practice yoga, do you notice when your ego takes over? Are you really listening to what your body needs? And do you feel in harmony with your mind, body, and breath? Practicing yoga isn't always easy. I sometimes get really frustrated with myself, but I've come to see it as a way of balancing life. It's a give and take, and it will shift with what is happening in your life at that time. I hope that my reflections on the yoga mat remind you that it's not just about being super flexible. It's about how much you're willing to let go mentally and allow your body to follow. I am far from being super flexible and bendy, but yoga has shown me that flexibility isn't the point. It's about tuning into your own personal practice. So stop looking around the room, let go of comparisons, and turn your focus inwards on what you really need. So this was my short story of how a simple action, such as taking a nap in yoga class, has helped me in my everyday life. Sometimes when I look at the world, it seems like everyone is focused on fitting in, and sometimes we don't look at all the unique things we each have to offer. We're all at different stages on our journey, and we're all going to be doing something completely different at different times. So embrace where you are today and enjoy every moment of it. Thank you so much for listening in. I hope you found this episode insightful. If you feel called to, please share this podcast, subscribe to it, and leave a rating and review. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, you can email me at healwithcare@gmail.com or follow me on Instagram at healwithcare. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next episode.